Hey guys, it's Rebecca. I'm not sure. It says that I'm live. Hopefully I am live. I am just waiting on a video that I just edited. I recorded it on the 17th. I'm waiting for it to finish rendering so that I can watch it one more time and then hopefully get it put up on YouTube. I was going to do it yesterday, but I've been feeling like crap. And for those of you that have health conditions or things like that, you know that cold and rain usually are pretty bad for people that have pain conditions or things like swelling and fibromyalgia and just all kinds of conditions and stuff that are affected by cold or rain or both. So I've been fighting with severe pain for the past, almost 72 hours. And 2 days ago it stormed so bad, and then yesterday we had tornado watches here where I live, and it's raining again today. And so it's been one of those days. It's been more like one of those weeks. So I figured I would pop on here. Was going to go live yesterday, and I don't know if you can hear from my voice, but my voice is kind of there but kind of not there. So my voice was kind of hit and miss yesterday. It was like I was a boy going through puberty. It was like I was cracking, and my voice just didn't want to stick with me. And so it is what it is. Sometimes life happens. And I've been trying to edit this video for the past couple of days. Like I said, I recorded it on the 17th. It's now the 21st, and I just finished editing it, and I've got a bunch of other videos that I've recorded, but because I record on my phone and then I upload them to Dropbox via my phone, and then it Dropbox, I have a folder on my computer that whenever I upload something from my phone, it goes to the website and then it saves off onto my computer. So it takes a good little while for files to transfer from one device to another. I've tried plugging my phone into my computer, trying to see if I could direct upload off my phone faster that way. It's not faster. It's actually faster to upload into Dropbox and then upload into my computer. Plus, it's kind of like a backup. So anything that I upload through Dropbox, and of course end up deleting because I only have, so much space on there, it saves on my Dropbox so that even after I've deleted it, I can go back to my deleted files and pull up stuff that I have uploaded and deleted before. So I can always go back and try and recover something that I've uploaded, unless the file itself is just flat corrupted. So I really enjoy using Dropbox. I've used it probably since they first came out. I've been using Dropbox, and I've never had any problems with it. I've never had any problems with them losing files or not being able to recover files, or I move something on my computer and I either can't find it, or I saved it to the wrong folder, or for whatever reason accidentally deleted it and it never made it to where it was supposed to go. So it's nice having that feature where I can go in and look at my deleted folder, and if I know the date or the file name, or it's usually saved by date, I can go in and I can recover the stuff, and it works easier for me that way. So I started off with 19 videos to upload off my device, totaling like 28 gigs, and I think right now I have like 8 left. Let me look. I'm pulling Dropbox up on my phone. And I just cleared whatever was in there. Okay, so I've got seven files left to upload from my device. And I've currently got 28 things on my device that I need to, some things have already been uploaded, and I just got to delete them off. It's just a lot of like back and forth kind of stuff. Kind of a pain if you ask me, but it is what it is, and it saves me a heck of a lot of trouble, especially when I'm trying to upload videos. Then that way I can go back and I can look and see, okay, well, was this file uploaded? Yes, it was. Okay, where did it go? Those kinds of things. So it's kind of nice to be able to go back and look and see what I still have on my device, what still needs to be uploaded, and then I can go in and I can delete off from my device file to go back and record more things. I'm actually selecting videos that I've already uploaded to delete now. So that leaves 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items total that will still be on my device, but 8 of them are 8 or 9 of them are videos. So, which is nice. And then once I, because once you delete them off once you delete them off your phone, they're like gone. So it's nice to have that backup feature. And I've tried, was it OneNote? Is one of the other ones that is like a Microsoft product. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. I downloaded the app, but it always says that it's full. So, no, I deleted it. I deleted it off my phone. I've deleted a lot of apps off my phone lately just because either they're taking up space and I don't use them, or I just don't use them, period, and I don't need them. I've had people make comments about the fact that they appreciate the fact that my photos are unedited. I had Facetune 2, I think is what it was. I downloaded a while ago. I used it once and it made everything look awful. So I deleted it. Deleted Snapchat off my phone a couple weeks ago just because I wasn't using it. And when I did use it, I had a bunch of 12 to 15-year-olds sending me, they would say hi, and I'd say hi with a question mark, and the next thing I would get was a picture. I'm like, okay, so you say hi to somebody and then you send that? Really? So, that's what I got to say to that. I actually have a picture that I keep saved on my phone on purpose that I think is hilarious. I don't know if it's going to pick up because of there you can kind of see it, but it says, I've sent this to so many people, it's not even funny. It says, "Dear sir, thank you for your unexpected and unsolicited submission of your penis portrait for our consideration. We regret to inform you that it has failed to pass our most basic standards of quality control at this time. However, for a nominal fee, we can offer you a report that will help you change to change that. The A4 report provided via postal service will include personalized booklet that covers the following: why genitals are not an acceptable conversation opener, a step-by-step guide on saying hello, how to appear as though you weren't raised by wolves, better ways to deal with your sexual frustration, how to dress your penis for social media, a rough guide to pants, and penis reading, a new form of palmistry that may help you unlock the key to your future." And I saw this on somebody's Twitter, and I about died when I saw this. So I saved it off onto my phone. It stays here. I've got one more that I saved off, and this was also on Twitter. And again, because of the reflection, you're not going to be able to read it, but it says butthurt report. It says date of hurtfulness, and it's got a line, kind of like when you get sent to the principal's office and they've got the report, they've got a file on you. So it says date of hurtfulness, line, time, line. It says what caused the butt hurt, and then there's a box, and it says someone posted it, and another box it says offensive picture on the internet. And then it says, was a tissue needed for the tears? And then there's a yes and a no box. And it says, will you be able to move past it? Yes, no, and not sure are the options. And it says, reason for filing the report, check all that apply. It says, I'm an idiot. I'm a crybaby. I'm thin-skinned. I'm a little bitch. I want my mommy. I felt picked on. I'm better than everyone else. I'm a prude. That would be me. It wasn't my joke. No one liked my selfies today. life isn't fair and other, please explain below. And then there's like four lines at the very bottom, and it says use a separate sheet of paper if necessary. And I was like, oh, that's too funny. So I saved both of those off, and those like stay on my phone at like all times because I have used this more often than I care to mention, because I've used both of those pictures. I'll get a message on Instagram, and I usually keep my Instagram messages pretty like kosher. And if I get something that's inappropriate, I immediately block it or whatever, but or report it. But yeah, I think for the most part, there's like 2 or 3 people that are guys in my messages, but the rest of them are all women, because the guys that message me, like I've got this one guy here, he's been messaging me for a while now, and he's like, hello there, pretty lady, how are you doing there today? And I'm like, okay. And then he like video called me, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know who this person is. They don't follow me, I don't follow them. First time I'd ever heard from them was in my DMs. But I get that quite a bit. Or I've got another one that messaged me for a while, and I finally like reported their posts and blocked them because it was getting to be too much. Now on Twitter, it's not quite that bad. I do have somebody that I guess lives local to me that's been messaging me in my DMs. And their first message to me was, happy holidays, you look beautiful, which is great. Thanks. I can take a compliment. But then, it says you can no longer send direct messages to this person at the bottom. You see that? It says you can no longer send direct. I'm heartbroken. Not because I said thanks, and then they said anytime, happy holidays, and then it says happy holidays, princess, for a couple of days ago, and I said, do I know you? And then that was it. So they must have. Oh, yep. It says that they've blocked me. It's still not going to show it. Anyways, it says that they blocked me, which is fine. I don't need it. I get a giggle out of some of these things, and I love going on Twitter just to look at all the stuff. And I ran into a thread a few days ago, and it was something about hashtag drunk Twitter. I thought that stuff was pretty hilarious too. I don't know. I guess because I have no life, and I've spent like the last 3 days watching Netflix series and stuff that just came back out. As an example, let's see. I've got one on my list. It's called The Protector, but it's in another language, so I'm going to have to definitely watch it with. But I've always been fascinated by mermaids, and mermaids, werewolves, vampires. They're something that fascinates me. And if you really think about it, vampire islands and stuff off of Australia that they say is where vampires originated. It's like a secluded island. I don't know. I don't remember the lore that well. I remember watching the original like Bram Stoker's like Dracula back when I was a kid. It was in black and white. I don't know. I've always been fascinated by supernatural things like that. But this was a really good series. I also was watching, was that Siren on the WB? But then there's another one. Of course, I watched Fuller House because I grew up on Full House, and I used to love watching it. It was one of the approved shows that I could watch as a kid. Just finished watching I caught part of The Good Witch while it was on, because I have a Roku TV, but we don't have cable anymore. We got rid of it. So I finished watching the newer versions of that had come on there. I watched the new episode of Sabrina that was the holiday special. Still not too keen on some of the stuff that they're doing for that show. And then the other show that I watched, and I watched it all in one day, was The Travelers. And I really enjoy that show. Hopefully they don't get rid of it. I like where they're going with it. I like the premise of the show. The eventuality type events that they talk about in the show really kind of make you think that, you know, if you look at some of the events and stuff that are happening in the world and some of the ecological things that are impacted right now for the world, there's a lot of things that if you look at them and you really think about it and you're like, okay, well, what is our current ecological standpoint? How is this going to affect our planet in 100 years or 200 years or 300 years? And granted, I'm not going to be alive then, and I know, hi SJ, I know that there are, my children won't be alive then and their children won't be alive then, so maybe their children's children, because you know, in 100 years, yes, my kids will still be alive, but you figure I have an 18 and a 15-year-old fixing to be 19 and 15, so 100 years they would be passed on, but their children would still be alive. So I think about, you know, what we're doing to our planet now and what it's going to be like in 100 years. Granted, none of us are going to be alive, or if we are, I'd be like 138 years old. Talk about hella old. But it makes me wonder, some of the, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, they were like the newest technologies and the newest things happening and stuff like that. And I really think about how much of this is going to be accurate later on down the line. I mean, are we going to be living in like biodomes in the future? Are we going to have our polar ice caps melt to the point where Florida is going to be non-existent? Most of the eastern seaboard is going to be non-existent. All the way up probably into Nevada is going to be non-existent because our country is just going to like shrink because the water is going to envelop most of it. And then you'll have some of those places in like Tennessee and Carolinas, places that have like mountains where you're literally only going to have people able to live on the actual mountains. So those are like things that if our ice caps do melt, that there's going to be impact that's going to be greater than just the United States. I know it's going to impact the entire world, but I just think about that kind of stuff occasionally. And I don't know, my dad and I get into discussions all the time about some of the things that he's read and some of the things that he thinks versus some of the things that I've read and some of the things I think. And my dad has, he really needs to find the book because I want to read it. And when he was reading it, I told him I wanted to read it. And now he's done misplaced the book in his bedroom somewhere. It's called The 10th Planet. And it talks about how every like 3,800 or 3,500 years, the 10th planet finally passes us and goes around the sun. It takes 3,800 years for the planet to make its trip, a planet that's just outside of our solar system, but somehow or another it's magnet to our sun. So, and it talks about Nibiru and the Anunnaki. And he like really got into that guy's book series, and I really want to read it. And one of my friends, Matt, he actually read the series, and he's not religious in any way, shape, or form. He's actually in school to become a geologist. So it really makes you scratch your head. Okay, he made a comment last night. If you think about the Iron Age, the Bronze Age, that, you know, and you go on and on about the different ages that we've had, how many years have passed from the, you know, the Bronze Age to the Iron Age? I mean, if you really think about it, how many years went by, or how many hundreds of years went by between each different age in our history? And if our planet is half of its lifespan, because we've got our sun only has about 4.5, you know, billion years left on it, or whatever. If our planet has been in existence for, you know, roughly that amount of time, and this 10th planet passes us every 3,800 years, he's like, if you go back through history, you can look and see, okay, well, at this time, we did this, and then 3,800 years later we did this, and 3,800 years later we did this. And he said that in the book series that he was reading, that it basically talks about how this 10th planet that has the Anunnaki, Dad just came home, has the Anunnaki on it, are the ones that are bringing these new technologies and bringing these new changes. And it really kind of makes you scratch your head and think, hey, Dad. He might have just gone back out. We'll see. I heard the door open. And it's about time for him to come home on an early day. Quit raining finally. There goes Bubby. Daddy! Question. I'm live streaming. The thing we were talking about last night, the 10th planet, was it 3,500 or 3,800 years for the 10th planet to orbit?
Either 35 or 3,600.
Okay. And you said the Iron Age, and you
From
said
Stone Age to the Bronze Age to the Iron Age.
It all takes
all about 3,500 years or something like that.
Or
roughly.
So basically, remotely.
They came back and helped us, and came back and helped us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You talked about. Do you know what's the name of that author that wrote the 10th planet?
Zechariah Sitchin.
Zechariah Zechariah
Sitchin.
Sitchin, and he's what, Romanian?
Romanian or Hungarian or something like that. He's dead now.
Poor guy.
Hey.
And did he write the other books that you were reading too? That series that you read?
Yes.
Okay. Now, does the other series have a name?
There's like 8 or 9 books. They all have names, yes.
But
I'm not in a position to give it to you right now.
No, I'm just wondering, is it like, for the Game of Thrones, it's each book has its own title, but the book series is called the Game of Thrones. That's what I was wondering.
No, it doesn't have
a series title. What's the cute little house you brought home?
It's cookies.
Aw, can I just look at is that a tin?
No, it's a little box.
Gimme. Spike and Bob and Reindeer Barn, home of Dasher, Prancer, Comet, Donner, Dancer, Vixen, Cupid, and Blitzen. How freaking cute is that? Imported in the USA. Made in China.
Are you surprised?
No. Those little Hershey, those are peanut butter cookies with the little Hershey's in them. I have a recipe somewhere in that pile I gave you that has that recipe in it.
So,
anyways. But yeah.
Live streaming doing what?
Oh, I was waiting on a video to render so that I could rewatch it and get it uploaded. And I didn't put a video up yesterday, and so I figured I would live stream while I was waiting on that to finish, and it just finished a minute ago. So,
Live stream.
Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I will see you guys later. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. Bye.